What's up, my network marketing friends? Todd Falcone here. What's happening? Hope you're having an amazing day. Welcome back to the Fearless Networker Show. Good to have you all. I'm excited to share with you some other information. This is so much fun for me to go through my entire career of things that have worked well for me and be able to put it in front of you so that you can see successes like I've seen in my nearly 30 years now of being in network marketing. So what we're going to talk about today is essentially customer retention, right? You know, we go out there and look, here's the thing. Customers are crucial to your success in network marketing. In fact, that's where the biggest residual income comes from. The most reliable residual income comes from legitimate, real customers that have nothing to do with your compensation plan, right? People that aren't in the deal. In other words, they're not distributors, because honestly, distributor volume is kind of flaky volume to some extent, because think about it. You're in a company, you're building it, you're kind of into the product, but you're, not really doing the business, you're not serious about it, or whatever the deal is, and ultimately you bail out on the business. Do you stay on the product? Now, if the product's really good, or the service is really good, it's adding value to your life, you probably would maintain it, even if you're not, continuing to build. But there's a lot of instances where distributors who end up not continuing to build the business, they ultimately cancel their auto ship. So does that mean that they just really weren't into the product? I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to get into the whole details on, because I don't know. It's different for everybody. But real customer volume is where it's at, right? And if we look at what network marketing is all about, it's about creating it's a distribution model. It's a product distribution model or service distribution model where we're able to get our goods and services out to the masses through a network of independent distributors. No different than franchising, except it's just, at-home franchising, right? The way McDonald's sells millions and millions of burgers is because they've got multiple outlets that are selling burgers all over the world, right? They don't have multiple outlets where they're selling business opportunities and like, hey, come on in, we're going to talk to you about getting a McDonald's franchise. Each franchise is responsible for moving products, in this case burgers, to end users. And it's the same thing in network marketing. Your objective is to build as big of a distribution network as possible where each individual, each distributor has customers. So, back in the day, I remember like in the mid 1990s, it was like people companies lost their way. It became distributor only consumption. It was like, and it was interesting. It was kind of when and I'm not going to get into too much detail. It was when the unilevel compensation plan started to become super popular that I saw this happening. So I started in 1989. I started with a breakaway compensation plan. I think in the early 1990s is when unilevel started to kind of make their way into the space. I'm not going to talk about comp plans on this. I mean, you got unilevels, breakaways, binaries, matrix. You got different types of compensation plans. But what I remember seeing is when unilevels came out and they had like $100, like most of the companies had like $100 auto ship. That was like, to stay qualified as $100 auto ship, $100 BV auto ship or whatever. And so there wasn't even I remember being in a company that was in there where we didn't really have like a preferred customer plan or a way for somebody to come in and just be a customer and save money. It made more sense actually for them to just be a rep, get the discount. And so we had people that were reps that didn't even want to be reps. So they were kind of like a glorified customer that really is technically in the company as a rep, but they didn't really want to be a rep in the first place. They're really just a customer. They became a rep just because they wanted to get a better pricing from a customer standpoint. So I think a lot of companies today now realize, okay, well, let's have a customer plan. Let's have a preferred customer plan or some kind of program that is valuable to people that just want to be customers. And so there's benefits to being a customer on ownership, or preferred customer is maybe the term that might be used for that. And you want to keep your customers because we work so hard to make a sale, right? And my friend Jeff Roberti talks about customers like this, like the first month you made a sale. The second month you have a customer. So the first month, okay, maybe they bought a box of your product or they bought something, they bought your service, and then if you keep them past the first month, you've ultimately created a customer. But you've got to do things in the first few weeks and first few months to make sure that you retain these customers. So customer retention is a conversation I think is a pretty valuable conversation to have. It's one thing, and we can sit here and talk all day about how to go get customers, but if you don't know how to retain customers, that's a problem. Because getting somebody and making a sale, and then you worked super hard to make the sale, and then they only buy once from you. What's the purpose of that? You want them to buy over and over and over again, and this is how you do it. So if you have, and it doesn't matter whether it's a product or a service. So let's say you have, I'm going to use a product example real quick. So let's say you have some product, and it's a consumable, something that you eat or drink, you put in your mouth, right? And what I'm going to do with this person, let's say I just signed up Bob as a customer, and Bob just became a customer. I want, and I know that the product's going to be shipped to Bob from the corporate headquarters. And I know, because I've been in the deal for long enough to know that, when it takes 1 to 3 business days or 2 to 4 business days. So knowing how long it takes after somebody's placed in order to get their product to their house would probably be good for you. And I'm going to say, Bob, listen, so we placed Bob's order. Bob, your product's going to be there in the next couple of days. Do me a favor. And as soon as you get that box in the mail, I want you to give me a phone call so I know you've got it, because I want to go through the product with you and make sure that you know what's in there, and that I teach you exactly how to use this product effectively. Because the reality is, this new product they haven't used before, and there's probably a few things that you need to explain to them: how to take it, when to take it, empty stomach, full stomach, time of day, how much you mix with it. And it depends on whatever you're doing. If it's something on your face, the time of day, do you do it in the middle of the day, do you do it in the morning, do you do it at night? If it's a service, they need to understand how to use the service. But it's all about communication. You guys have heard me, if you've been, I don't know how frequently you plug into me, but you've probably heard me use the word, the key to success, one of the keys to success is communication. Communicating with your organization, communicating with your team, communicating with your sponsor, communicating with your customers. Communication is king, right? And the more we communicate, the less confusion we have. So let's say Bob buys a product on Monday. I execute the order on Monday, and I know that with my company, and I don't build anymore. I'm a full-time speaker and a trainer, but let's say I'm in this made-up company, and I know that if he orders on Monday, very likely he's going to have it Wednesday at the latest Thursday. So, and I told him, like, hey, call me when you get the box, but I'm not going to wait for Bob to call me necessarily. So I'm going to put a note on my calendar Wednesday afternoon, and I'm just going to check in. Hey, Bob, did you get the box? He's like, no, I didn't get the box yet. I'm like, okay, I'll probably get it tomorrow. And so late on Thursday, if I hadn't heard from Bob, it's like maybe 5, 6 o'clock in the afternoon. He's probably home from work and he's gotten his mail. I'm going to check in and say, Bob, did you get the box? Oh, yeah, no, I got the box today. I haven't had a chance to tear into it. I'm like, okay, cool. Do you have a few minutes right now so we can kind of go through it real quick? He's like, yeah, let's do it, right? So what your objective there at that point to do is to go through and you have to understand your products. You have to understand how to take them. Like, let's say it's a shake, for example. You know for sure that if you mix it with lukewarm water and put it into a shaker cup and they drink it, yeah, you might have the greatest tasting shake on the planet, but I don't care how great tasting it is. If it's in lukewarm water, it's not going to taste nearly as good as if you put a few ice cubes in a blender, put 8 to 10 ounces of water or whatever, blend it up. It's nice and frothy. It's cold. It's just a more enjoyable experience typically with a shake in this example. And so you want to teach your people to how to take the products, and how to best take the products. Like I was with a guy one time with a coffee company, and he was telling me about this customer that was complaining about how bad his coffee tasted. And he's like, well, what do you mean? He's like, your coffee is so weak. And he's like, well, talk to me. How did you make it? He goes, well, I put it in my coffee jug. His coffee jug. He didn't say coffee cup. Well, how big is your coffee jug? It was 64 ounces. And how much did you put in there? I put one of the envelopes in there. He's like, well, that envelope is actually meant to be for like 8 to 10 ounces of coffee or 8 to 10 ounces of water, and you got 64, so it's pretty diluted. So this guy had this awful product experience because this guy didn't say, look, when you take the coffee, you need to mix it with 8 to 10 or 8 to 12 ounces of hot water, and you want to pour the water in first and then pour the coffee in on top of it, or vice versa. And you guys got to know that too. If you have some mixable, is it mixed better if you put the powder in there first and then the water on top of it? Or do you put the water in first and then the powder? You got to know. I mean, does one mix better than the other? And if so, make sure your people are doing it that way, because there's nothing worse than having a customer who puts the water in there, puts your stuff in there, and then it's all clumpy and they can't get it mixed up, and they're like, I don't want to drink, and they pour it down the sink because they see this clumpy thing, when if you would have taught them ahead of time how to best use it. So it's about best use, right? If there's some pill or something, I don't know, do you take it in the morning? If it's something that you put on your face at night, do you take it at night right before you go to bed? What do you do? So this is how we get customer retention here. And we create customer retention by helping people have the best product experience possible. The other thing, and I'm adamant about this, is if in many cases, especially with a consumable, And you're putting people on something, whether it's a nutrient, whether it's something that they're eating, drinking, whether it's maybe something they're rubbing on their body, I don't know. You gotta let them know if there's any potential side effect, even if it's a small percentage. Like, look, if somebody's taking this cleanse product, for example, and they're 2-3 days into it, there's a percentage of people that get a headache. Well, you need to tell the person, look, here's the deal. Just so you know, you might be 2 or 3 days into this, and if you start to experience a headache, basically what that's telling you is, hey, your body needs this and you're detoxing. The best thing to do is just make sure you increase your water intake that day and just really drink a lot more water, and it's going to go away. It takes a little bit to your body to adjust to it. I'm going to be real, I don't even know. I'm just going to be super direct with you in this. I'm not even going to filter it, because this is exactly, I'll tell you a quick story. This guy, I was speaking at an event probably 8 years ago, and there was this product that I had heard this story about this product. I'm like, I want to try it. And so I bought some of this stuff from this guy, and he's like, listen, he said, and this is what I mean by I'm not filtering. He said, for the first week of taking the product, he said, don't trust a fart. I was like, what did you say? He said, do I need to be any more clear? I was like, I don't think so. Did you say don't trust a fart? He said, I said, for the first week, don't trust a fart. In other words, like, what do you mean? You probably get your stomach's a little weird, and literally, like, the second day I took the product, not that I didn't trust a fart, but I had runny, you know what. And thank goodness he told me, because I don't know. I mean, somebody's taking the product. What if you didn't tell the person? They're at work in white pants at work, and they had to pass gas, but it wasn't gas, and they crapped all over themselves at work. Probably would not be a good experience, and you're probably going to lose that person immediately. So I told you I was going to not filter, but that is a totally true story. And after about 5 or 6 days of taking the product, my stomach went back to normal and was good, and so I was used to it. But again, even if it's a potential of any small percentage, you need to tell them, because what's going to happen, the way you keep a customer is by helping them to have a positive product experience, knowing how to take the product, when to take the product, what any kind of things might occur, and that way they're ready for it. So if they get the headache or their stomach feels upset or something, they're already, oh, my friend told me that was going to happen, cool, I'm fine. And then the other part of it, and I go back to this word I already used, communication, right? So communication. So the guy ordered in this made-up example on Monday. I'm having this conversation with him on Thursday night. So he's going to start taking the product Friday morning. And, I'm going to probably check in with them Friday afternoon and say, hey, did you have a chance to take your first batch of the product? And, again, I'm using product and I'm using a made-up example here, but I'm sure you guys can totally understand. And then, so, no, how I didn't do it, because at this point it's not habit. Another thing to do is find out where, like if it's a nutritional product, where do you normally take your nutritional products? In your bathroom or you're in your kitchen? I take it in my kitchen. I'm like, oh, cool, put it up on the countertop somewhere where it's readily visible for you, so that, because it's not habit yet, right? It's not habit for this person. The only way it's going to be a habit, because they've never done it before. And how many times have you sold somebody product before, and they're 2, 3, 4 weeks in, and they still haven't even opened up the box yet. And then they're on auto ship, so now they haven't even opened up the box yet. And now they got this other product, the same product coming to them, and they haven't even opened up the first one. That's how people cancel their auto ships, because they haven't even started. So we got to help them early, start to create a product experience, which involves you being on top of your customers, following up with them. So I'm going to follow up with them on Friday. Maybe I'll let them go through the weekend. I'll check with them on Monday. Hey, how's it going? Have you been taking it consistently? And I will stay in communication with them for the first few weeks pretty regularly, just to make sure that they're on their game. How are you feeling? I'm feeling great. Awesome. I'm doing this. I got a headache. And I stopped taking the product because I got a headache. Well, I already told them about the headache. Did you, take the product again, drink some more water. So depending on what you guys are dealing with, you need to communicate what might happen and help them to have that product experience. So 2, 3, 4 weeks into it, now that they got their next their next box of product, for example, they're feeling good. Maybe if it's a weight loss company, they're starting to lose weight, they have more energy, they're sleeping better, their skin's more soft. If it's a skincare company, their wrinkles are going away, whatever it is, whatever it might be, right? And so now at the end of the month, do we go, okay, I'm done, I'm going to go never talk to this guy again? No. I'm going to make sure I keep him in my calendar for periodic follow-ups into month 2. I might talk to him once a week for the next month. And then after the second month, do I drop him and go, I'm done with you? No, I'm going to continue to stay in contact with him. And this is something you guys got to be doing with all of your customers. They're your customers. You need to serve your customers, service your customers. And so that's how you keep a customer. And then the other thing is, like, you got new flavors, new product extensions. And because I'd never fully get out of communication with my customers, because the thing is, how many customers are we managing here? Typically, most network marketers, and you might be a customer gathering machine and have 100 customers, and you might have to be a little bit more advanced in your follow-up, maybe set up some kind of, I don't know, email follow-up campaign or sequence if you're managing 100 or 200 personal customers where you're, communicating and staying in contact with them, because it's, when you got that many customers, it's a little harder to manually do it. But most network marketing companies or independent distributors might have, a handful or 2 handfuls of customers that they personally manage. But imagine this: what if you have 5,000 distributors, each of which have 5 to 10 customers? How much product do you have going out in the marketplace? That's how you create big volume. If it was 5,000 distributors and none of them had customers, that's not good, because what are you in the business for anyhow? We're in the business to get this product into the hands of end users. And so customer retention is a very important conversation to have, you guys. It's a very, very important conversation to have. And it's all about communication. And then again, remember that I don't think you should ever have a point where you just no longer talk to your customer. If they're still buying from you, you still maintain contact. Hey, how's it going? How you doing? Hey, the company's coming out with a new flavor this month of our shake, or we just had a new product advancement. I'm going to send you an email about this, and keep them informed, right? And by the way, these are great sources, because you've done all this work and because you've communicated and because you've helped them have a great product experience. They very likely created a great product story. They're seeing results, they're loving it, they're more likely to share it with other people because they haven't been sporadically taking it. If they take it one day, they don't take it for 6 days, they take it one day, and they need to take it every day, and they took it 3 times during the month. They're not going to have a product experience, they're not going to have a result, they're not going to give you referrals, they're not going to feel different, look different, they're not going to have a positive experience because they're not doing it consistently. So your job from a customer retention standpoint is communication and making sure that they have this long-term successful experience. And even somebody who said, I'll never do this network marketing thing, but I'll be your customer, they may come to you by month 2 or month 3 and they're like, dude, I am feeling better than I've ever felt in my entire life. I got friends that are asking me, like, why are you up well, you're so energetic now. What are you doing? And that's when you might be able to come back and suggest to them, hey, look, you got people already asking you about it. They're asking about your weight loss. They're asking about your skin. They're asking about your attitude or whatever it is. Would it be okay with you if I showed you a way to get your products for free? Well, yeah, I'd love to get my products for free, even though they never had any intention of being a rep. And they might be like, no, I still just want to be a customer. That's fine. But because you helped them create such a good positive product experience, they're way more likely to, A, refer you business, even if they don't want to be a distributor. And B, maybe it's a great time for them to upgrade. And some of these loyal customers that have had the greatest product experience, they actually become some of your best distributors. Even the ones that in the beginning said, I'll never do this as a business. I know a bunch of you guys that are in this business that only started with the products, that I never do network marketing, but because you had such a positive product experience, you ended up becoming a distributor, and very likely a very successful distributor, because you were so attached to the product. So there's a lot of reasons to do this. Obviously, we're in the business of helping people get on our products, get on our services. It's the same thing with the service, helping them understand how to use the service, communicating that they're using it regularly, showing them how to use it, how to have the best service experience in this case. But it's something you don't want to just sign people up, get them a box of stuff, or get them on your service and say, sayonara, see you later, and never talk to them again. It's all about ongoing communication, and that ongoing communication, quite frankly, never ends if you're smart. So appreciate you guys so much for plugging into me and coming over here, getting some value. I hope you take these chunks of information that I give you weekly and put it into use. A phrase that I often use is soak and apply. Soak in the information, but most importantly, apply it. So even what I said to you today, soak in this information, but apply it into your business. I got no reason to lead you down a wrong path. I want to help you. And if I help you and you're like, oh my gosh, this Falcone guy, he helped me. What are you going to do? You're going to tell other people about me and about, hey, this guy's a great network marketing trainer. He's helped me learn a lot. He's helped me create a bunch of success. I've spent my life in this business. I'm not going anywhere. I want to help you, but you got to take this stuff and you got to apply it into your business and put it into practice. So wherever you are, whether you're on my podcast, whether you're on YouTube, you might be at toddfalcone.com. That's cool too. The main conversation is with these videos and with this content is happening at toddfalcone.com. In this case, for this one, toddfalcone.com/episode 37. Again, that's toddfalcone.com/episode 37. That's where it's at. So thank you so much for plugging in. Put the stuff into use into your business. It'll make you more money to help you retain more customers. Stay fearless, my friends, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Have an amazing day.